Yeah, you know, that's the bad version of Death Boat, yeah.
It's hitting midships.
Hello, valued viewers. I hope you're all doing wonderfully well. Today we're back on Sea Power and we're going to do something a bit different. So far we've done 9 battles. Carrier battles, battleship battles, cruisers, frigates, destroyers, patrol boats. But they've all been surface action. We haven't gone under the water yet, and that's because, to be honest, I don't know a great deal about submarine and anti-submarine warfare. You guys said, hey, hook up with a YouTuber that really knows a lot about submarines, and I've reached out to 2 guys, but I just haven't managed to hook up. I work 2 jobs now, and I've got childcare, and it's just impossible to find any overlapping times. So we're going to do it ourselves. Today, we're going to take time, we're going to learn submarines and anti-submarine warfare the hard way in Sea Power. Viewers, first we're going to have a quick look at the submarines available in the version I've got of Sea Power, and let's just see if we can learn a few things about them. Then we'll look at what we're going to do today, and then we'll play a battle as a submarine, and then we'll play a battle against a submarine, and we'll see how it goes. So first, if we just place a group there, let's see what we've got. Let's just concentrate on the US and the USSR. I'm aware there are other submarines in the world, but let's just keep it a small scope for the time being. So as the US submarines in Sea Power, we've got ballistic missile submarines and we've got attack submarines. So ballistic missile submarines, let's have a look here. Benjamin Franklin class, for instance. And if we went to details, we could see a massive 8,000 tons. Now this would be firing ballistic missiles. Is that things like Minuteman, do we think, that would just be like intercontinental missiles fly?
Yeah, but what they use is like Polaris, subsurface, underwater launch ballistic missiles.
Roger. Now, we don't actually have the ballistic missiles in Sea Power because, you know, what would you want to do with them, at least at the moment. So we've just got torpedoes, anti-submarine and anti-service Mark 48s, which are active or passive sonar, homing, and mid-course correction, wire-guided. Oh, God, max velocity, 50 knots, 20 miles. Okay, we've got to learn all about that. We've got 2 others, ballistic missile subs, which are very similar, and so we won't go through them. Then we've got attack submarines. Let's start with Los Angeles, and let's go there. So a little bit smaller, 7,000 tons. I noticed much faster. So the attack submarines, the first thing I've learned is they're much faster. This one is nuclear, but I guess they could be diesel electric as well.
Most American subs are nuclear now.
Roger, that must
Or
make
for a long
them
time.
very expensive then.
Yes.
Wow, so very effective, but very expensive. Interesting.
That gives you 2 main advantages. You can stay longer underwater because you have more or less infinite electricity, what you can use to even do oxygen, splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen. So you can stay infinite underwater except for the crew who need to feed.
Yeah, right.
You know?
So
yeah. That's the reason why the Americans do that.
So they'd have to rendezvous with a supply vessel at some secret location and pop up to the surface and do that. Okay. In terms of armament, we've got the what appears to be the standard American Mark 48. As we just saw, so that's active or passive sonar homing, anti-surface or anti-submarine. I noticed these ones also have surface missiles, as in proper surface missiles. So these are UGM-84 harpoons. So these look like they're fired from under the water, then pop up and just be harpoons, traveling at 500 knots, 65 miles. So the same essentially as the ship-fired ones, right?
So Los Angeles class have vertical launch tubes for missiles, but they fire Tomahawks. What we have not in game, at least as right now, the version you have. The harpoons are fired through the torpedo tubes. Like in real life, harpoons are fired through torpedo tubes.
Interesting. Okay. Defenses, they say noisemaker. So that's a decoy, right, for a torpedo. Yeah. Okay.
Like flares or chaff, it's basically tablets of chemicals that you drop into the water that make gas bubbles that explode in the water, makes a lot of noise, and it's just a cylinder with foils with red tablets in it.
Roger. Okay. Just out of interest, sensors, optics, that will be periscope and above surface, I guess. Advanced optics, probably the same. Surface search radar. I didn't know they had a surface search radar on them. How interesting. Okay. Hull-mounted sonar. So that's active sonar, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had towed sonar, so they can tow a fish behind that is also a sonar. I'm assuming passive.
It's basically visual sensors. General are your normal mast periscope, advanced optics, our cameras, and night vision and stuff, optics on masts. Surface search radars is also like a periscope. You tip out of the water to look out with a radar, and ESM mast is the same, but like in RW, it just searches for as a passive sensor for enemy electric signal.
Right, this is a lot wider than I thought a submarine was. I didn't know we had radar detection and all that stuff. So this is a real tactical vessel, and it could be used for all. This can almost be used as an AWACS. You could send it out 1,000 miles ahead, pop the top up, and listen to what radiation's going on out there, couldn't you? And then,
so in modern wars, the tactics say that like a very modern, very silent diesel electric submarine you can send out in front of an enemy country and just poke out her sensors to listen to any radio of the enemy, any look out for radar passively or actively, and just collecting informations that then get transferred to a satellite back to the generals at home.
Fine, very interesting. Well, I've learned a lot already, viewers. At People Have Interest, let's just blast through some others. We've got a Permit attack, which has got the same gear, essentially the same, but it's half the weight and slower. We've got Shipjack, never heard of any of this, by the way, even lighter. 28 knots. A Moss, that's got different. A Moss is a...
Moss is basically, it resembles a submarine. You could fire it like a torpedo. It makes signals and noise like a submarine. You fire it one way, you go another way, very silent, and you make the enemy hunt that simulator instead of you.
Oh, this sounds very tactical, Fly.
Also interesting, if you have enemy active homing torpedoes, that often you try to distract with a Moss.
Fair enough. As well as noisemakers.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, that's the Americans. You got another one there, the Sturgeon. Let's go on to USSR, viewers. And again, I'm aware there's other coalitions, but let's just keep it simple for the time being. USSR have a lot of submarines. Wowee. They've got attack. They've got guided missile. They've got ballistic missile. They've got patrol. Okay, where do we even start? An Alpha class attack, shall we? So this is a tiny, small, 3,000 ton, 41 knots. 41 knots.
Yeah.
Wow, must be because it's so small. So this is just a whippet. I mean, this is going faster than shit.
It's even saying the description. It's Alphas are the fastest production submarines ever made.
Amazing.
They are loud. Also.
Right, yeah, I guess, yeah. We'll talk about noise. So Set 65 is an anti-submarine torpedo. It's active radar homing only, 40 knots, only 8 miles. So small submarine, small limited range weapons, I guess. It's also got an anti-surface only torpedo. It's wake homing and it's 10 miles at 45 knots. That's a 65k. So I don't know when you'd want to use an Alpha, but I guess it's there if you want to use it. Let's go on to a guided missile, a Charlie. In fact, let's just skip to Charlie 2. 5,500 tons, slowish at 24 knots. Aha. Now this is interesting. These are anti-surface missile, proper, missiles. These are for anti-surface ships. They're active radar homing with a range of 60 miles. And they're a P-120 Malag hit, which I've never heard before. Standoff anti-ship weapon. So do you fire these from the surface, do you think, Fly?
That one, I'm not sure. I think Charlies need to surface. So that's the thing. The Russians have a type of submarine that Americans don't have. They both have ballistic submarines. But for ballistic missiles, mostly nuclear-tipped. But Russians have also often called carrier hunters and carrier destroyer submarines that are purposely built to hunt down basically NATO surface groups with anti-ship missiles.
Set 40, anti-submarine torpedo, active radar homing, 30 knots, 4 miles. Wow, what's the point? Okay, fine. A Set 65, anti-submarine, active homing torpedo, 8 miles, 40 knots, so a bigger version of the Set 40. And I guess they're kind of they feel like they're kind of self-defense. There's a 65k again, 10 miles, wake homing, anti-surface. Okay, fine. Right, one thing I haven't got seen is their propulsion, whether these are nuclear or diesel electric or whatever, but I don't suppose it really matters. Right, let's go on to a Delta 3 class. Mass 16,000 tons. It's the size of a battle cruiser.
Yeah, that's like first or second generation ballistic missile subs.
Wow.
So they
Yeah,
have that
ballistic
big
missile. Yeah.
hump. They have that big hump to just get the height of a pressure vessel to carry the ballistic missiles.
Wow. 24 knots. I mean, this thing is enormous. It's got some anti-submarines. It's got some anti-surface torpedoes, and it's got MG44 Karund, which is it's like another simulator. It's another decoy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, with a range of 8 miles.
It's like
Okay.
the Russian version of the Moss.
Yeah. Wow. What an absolute beast. The only really fit stuff I've done with subs before is World War Two. Now, in World War Two, you would hunt in wolf packs. You would have, say, German submarines hunting in a pack of 2 or 4, whatever. Now, these things presumably don't hunt in packs or travel in packs. Presumably, they just send this Delta 3 out wherever it wants to go, and it's going to go on its own because it doesn't need defense. Or do you think I've got that completely wrong? Do you think it's part of a carrier group, or I don't know?
I think it's not directly in a carrier group, but what I know is they have like, so what NATO has is like an underwater communication system that's like close range, so you can talk from submarine to submarine and organize basically, and a bigger ballistic sub you probably send out with some submarine hunters to defend the ballistic sub, especially in a war situation. So it's not completely alone. Of course, a big ballistic sub is harder
Hard to hide.
to basically not to hide. But if it get in trouble, it's better you have some company with it, right?
Roger.
So
Okay.
Echo class, I know they need to surface. You see, like all that little sparse out in the hull. That's where like the exhaust flames of the launchers come out,
Right.
and the middle part is popping up to reveal the missiles.
Right, so Echo 2, 6,000 tons, 22 knots. It has this. It's an anti... Oh, I know this. This is an old Mark 1 anti-ship missile. So it would need to surface. It would pop out a bunch of these with a huge range of 240 nautical miles. I mean, that would have to be guided in by an AWACS or something, obviously. But, okay, that's...
Also,
Even that's
that
dangerous.
type of submarine using that type of missile needs to stay on the surface. It has that radar, I think, in the bridge part. I just call it now. I think it's called like the fin or something on a
Conning
sub.
tower, isn't it?
Yeah, and in the tower part, and it needs to keep that active to guide the missiles.
Okay.
And can't go subsurface until that. That's the reason why they quickly tried to get to the next generation missile subs.
Interesting. Okay. Set 65 we know. 65K we know. Set 40 we know. Okay, fine. Right, so Foxtrot Patrol. Now, what is a patrol? Oh, it's a small one. 2,500 tons. Very slow at 16 knots. With a Set 65 anti-submarine and a 65K anti-surface. Fine. What else have we got?
That's something you have like in your own territory, just hunting down enemy subs. That's a patrol submarine basic main task.
Roger. Kilo class. I've heard of this one. 3,000 tons. A bit bulgy. Wow, 17 knots. It is slow, slow, slow. It's diesel electric powered. It's the first diesel electric powered submarine to adopt streamlined albacore hull shape for improved underwater performance, blah, blah, blah. It's got a Test 71, which is an active or passive anti-submarine homing torpedo at a miserable 35 knots, 13 miles. It's also got a 65K anti-surface, as we know, and a USET, which is an anti-submarine or anti-surface active or passive homing torpedo at 48 knots at 10 miles. Okay, that's a kilo. November class. Oh, it's long and skinny. Interesting. It is an attack submarine at 5,000 tons, 30 knots, so pretty fast. It's got the Set 65 active anti-submarine or the 65K anti-surface. Okay. It's nuclear submarine as well. Fine. We've got an Oscar. Let's have a look at the Oscar. That is, oh my goodness, a 23,000-ton submarine. How big were these American ones then? Let me just quickly check.
So when you think about Russian subs, the things you most people get into mind,
Jesus.
Oscar and Typhoon class, and they more or less both same size. If you remember, Typhoon class was the Kursk.
Right. Okay. So just for size here, Fly, the American ballistic subs are about 8,000 tons. I just went back and had a look. This is 23,000 tons. This is 3 times bigger or heavier than an American. It's amazing. 32 knots. So it's very fast. It's almost presumably going to be nuclear powered. Stand to be corrected.
Yeah, the Russians don't had big carriers, but they definitely had big subs.
Yeah, weird, right? What a real difference in doctrine. I'm already seeing the crazy power they must have had in their submarines. And look at this, shipwreck. They got shipwreck missiles on there, P700, which, as we know, is absolutely deadly to a 1980s carrier group. 400 nautical miles range. Bunch of those, God knows where they come out of, but I mean that's a massive missile, and I bet it carries a lot. I mean, this could just wipe out an entire carrier group on its own.
That's what it made for.
Oof, man.
So Typhoons are ballistic missile subs, and the Oscars are guided missile submarines for killing carriers.
Just to imagine being at war as an American carrier group in the middle of the Atlantic and thinking one of these at any point could surface anywhere within 400 miles and just launch its shipwrecks at you, and there's not really much you can do about it. That's pretty miserable.
Yeah, and I think these missiles were developed for that type of submarines, and then later put on the Slava class cruisers. With little downside, but that's Russian. It's Russian mentality. Yeah. Hey, let's put that missiles on, but we have one problem. They are subsurface launched missiles. So now we need to put water into the missile tubes before launching on a surface vessel.
That explains the weird look. Okay, didn't know that. They've got this thing, a 6576. It's a massive anti-surface wake-homing torpedo at 50 knots, 27 miles range. I mean, this thing will just reach out and touch you.
Yep, it's 650 mils. So
it's enormous, absolutely enormous.
It's far over half a meter diameter.
Yeah, wow. Test 71, we've looked at that. USET 80, another torpedo, active homing, 10 miles.
Yeah, they have 2 types of missile tubes. They have smaller missile tubes and the bigger torpedo tubes.
Now, this is an interesting thing. An anti-submarine rocket with 10 miles range. Do you want to explain that, Fly?
So Voodoos are basically fired through a torpedo tube, then launched towards the water surface, pull out the water surface, ignite a rocket. The missile, then it's a missile, flies over a predetermined location and drops the torpedo. And that torpedo then is active searching for an enemy submarine. So it's like a standoff torpedo launcher, basically.
We've now got a Romeo, ugly thing that is, 1,000 tons. It's titchy witchy. This is the one I'm going to have. 15 knots. I could run faster than that. With a Set 65 and a 65K. Fine. Let's have a look.
With the old hull shape, yeah? So we talked about that before recording. So it's 3 things determine how loud is your submarine and how easy it's to detect. And one is the shape and surface of the hull. So modern American subs are rubber coated, and modern subs are streamline shaped. Old World War II subs, because they at most times they were on the surface, had more a surface vessel shaped hull. Yeah, mm-hmm. Modern subs are most time underwater, so they have a very streamlined hull. And the other 2 things are onboard noise making and vibrating infrastructure internally. So all is on modern submarines noise dampened by rubber shock absorber and everything, down to the kitchen mixer is actually specially made, so it not makes too much noise. And the other thing, and most important, is the shape and speed of the prop.
We've got a Tango class, patrol submarine. No, sorry, try that again. Tango class, old style hull, 4,000 tons, 60 knots slow, say 65K, fine. We've got a Victor, we'll skip to Victor 3. It's a 7,000 tonner, 32 knots, looks pretty good. Oh, it's got this big missile, it's got the 650 mil, 30-mile range missile. So that's scary. Victor 3 scary. Remember that. Test 71, which we've seen. USN 80 we've seen. It's also got anti-submarine rocket and decoy. Okay, don't want to mess with that. And finally, Yankee class. This is crazy, and this isn't even looking at the other coalitions. This is just these 2 coalitions. We've got a Yankee at 12,000 tons, 27 knots, set 65. We've looked at 65k and MG44 decoy. Ooh, wowee. All right, that's already been pretty interesting, to be honest, and we're going to see lots more of submarines as we go forward. So, viewers, very simple. We've got a an American surface fleet here. It's got to get past the channel here and out into the Atlantic. Nice and easy. It consists of a destroyer, which is a Kid class, a cruiser, which is a Ticonderoga. I've just put some random vessels together. A target vessel, if you like, just a whatever the hell this is, a giant 55,000 ton full of oil or full of whatever. And then it's got an anti-submarine vessel, which is going to be a OHP. Okay. They're all set to patrol, and that's set to anti-submarine warfare. 60 miles away will be the submarine. And what did we decide on? Oh dear, it's the Victor 3. So that really menacing 32 knotter with the nasty torpedoes. Okay, we're going to try it twice. First, we're going to play as the Soviet submarine and try and hunt down these guys played by AI. Then we'll come back and I will scramble the position of the submarine somewhere along this arc, 60 miles away, and then we'll play as the Blues, not knowing where the submarine is, and see if we can hunt it down, and we'll learn a lot by it, hopefully. Any predictions before we go fly?
We will have fun.
Welcome in, viewers. First, we're playing as the Victor 3. The baddies we know are roughly 60 miles ahead. In fact, we can actually start detecting them already. That's our passive sonar detecting them because they're making a lot of noise, splishing through the water at 2/3 speed. Viewers, let's just go over the controls. It's pretty simple from what we see. So we right-click on our guy. We can look at the encyclopedia. We can assume direct control, which we're not going to do today, hopefully. Damage control if we're damaged. We can engage with one of these weapons, including the MG44 and the noisemaker. You would just go like that, press how many you want to fire, and then right-click on the thing you want to blow up, basically. You'll need to point the submarine towards the thing that you want to blow up. Navigation, waypoints we don't have today. Resume course, kind of irrelevant because we don't have waypoints today, or only one waypoint maybe. We can change the speed for a flank all the way back to stop or back. The faster we are, the more noise we make, so the easier they'll detect us. Also, the faster we go, my guys tell me, that the less we can detect them, the less range we can detect them. We've got Fly here, who's like me, is an enthusiast, and we've got Pony here, who it just so happens is a surface warfare naval guy. Hello, Pony.
Hello.
As in a real guy. So yeah, we've got a wealth of knowledge here. We can set our depth, obviously. Surface, periscope, low, above layer, below layer, deep, and very deep. We've just been talking about it a bit. Obviously, if you want to use your periscope or your mast sensors, you need to go to periscope or surface. Shallow, I think, is what we're at now. So whatever depth that is, 100 feet. Above layer is above the thermal layer. The thermal layer will depend on the temperature of the sea at that point. You can go below that layer, or deep, or very deep. The interest of the layer is that it's kind of like a separating thermal layer, and if let's say the red guys are just searching above the layer, it's a good idea for us to go below the layer to separate ourselves from them. If they've dropped a fish, say, below the layer, then they can search below the layer, and then us being below the layer may not be an effective way of hiding. So it's kind of a cat and mouse game in terms of depth, which should be interesting. That's navigation. Sensors, MCOM is sensors off. Periscope, radar mast, and electronic support measures, or whatever it was called. We can only operate them at periscope depth, which we probably won't even do today. We can have an active sonar. If you remember the movie, God, what was it called? Hunt for Red October? One ping only for CD. So we could send out a ping and see what that detects. Maybe we'll have a talk about that. Why we're passive sensing at the moment, which always happens, but we can active ping as well. But they'll hear our ping, so we've got to be a little bit careful with that. We can send out a towed array. Guys, has anyone got a problem with us sending out a towed array now?
No.
Do it.
Есть выпустить.
Towed arrays can be active or passive, but this is going to be a passive. To me, it just looks like a giant wire, to be honest, a giant listing device. Pony, what's the advantage of why a towed array like this? What's it going to give us? Bear in mind, it doesn't appear to allow us to change the depth of it. Is it just more sensitivity?
Yeah, it's sensitivity. It's passive, so you're a little bit more sneaky. They're almost always passive, and they are just a wire like that. They'll be about 3 to 4 inches across, and they've got hydrophones all up and down the wire.
Roger, gotcha. Interesting. Okay. Yep, so we've got that, guys. So that's done. Formation not relevant for today because we've only got one submarine. Orders identified. We can ask a vessel to identify themselves. If they're neutral, they might say I'm neutral. If they're baddie, they won't respond. Our rules of engagement: weapon free. It'll just fire at whatever the hell it wants. Weapon tight. It'll fire at what I tell it to fire at. Weapons hold. It won't fire at anything. Well, in theory at least. And we can tell it to cease fire. We have in this vessel 4 65-76s, the long-range I've got to get my notes out, anti-surface wake homing missile, or we've got the Test 71. We've got 4 of them, which is the Anti-Submarine Warfare 13 nautical mile active passive sonar homing torpedo. We've got 8 USET 80s, which are the anti-surface or anti-submarine 10-mile range 48 knot active passive sonar homing. We've got the anti-submarine rockets, which we won't use today obviously. We've got the decoys, the MG44, and 20 noisemakers, and we've got their viewers. That is what we can do with submarines in game. Right guys, we're 60 miles away. What the hell do you want to do? Because I don't know.
I would say first we go under the thermal layer and hide and try to get a bit more closer to the surface group.
Roger. I assume it's not going to crash itself into the bottom. I assume it's got that kind of intelligence, but we'll have to see. Right, so we're looking for thermal layer, which will depend on the current water temperature. And it's going to find that. Please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash.
The one step back for us being under the thermal layer is also detecting the surface vessel is a bit harder for us.
Right, because there's the layer in the way, yeah.
Yeah, but we have a bearing and distance. Of course, they have presumably their sonar on, or somehow we can detect them right now passively.
Yes, we
can. We know where they are anyway right now, so we can just go closer to that position
now,
we last known.
One thing I've noticed, guys, is that above the layer I was making 15 knots at 2/3 power. I'm still at 2/3 power, wherever the hell it's gone. But I'm now only making 5 knots. So below the layer, for whatever reason, oh no, I take that back. It put itself down to 5 knots. I don't know why it did that. Don't know. But anyway, I'm back up to 10 knots now. Right, do you just want me to speed up, or do you want me to do it at this point?
Let's just get closer, like 40 miles to the known contacts.
Roger. Now, what are they doing, do you think? We can't see helicopters. Do you reckon they're scrambling helicopters looking for us?
They should be. That's what I would do.
Now, those helicopters can't really scan below the thermal layer, though, can they? Because they can't dip very low.
Depending on how long their cable is on the sonar probe the helicopter is carrying. I don't know actually how long the cable is on like an SA3. But I remember like that there are tactics like okay, we're probing above a layer, under layer. Some I think modern helos even can just drop a sensor, and that's just like going down and measuring temperatures, so they know actually where the layer is.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll drop those about every 15 to 20 minutes, and then we can also pop out sonobuoys that'll have a little antenna at the top and communicate back to the ship what they see.
Roger. Interestingly, the vessels that I can detect are constantly changing. That's presumably because they're masking each other with the noise of their props. And oh, look, it tells you here decibels, a range, predicted range based on the decibel levels, or you know, however it works.
And of course, like so NATO and the USSR had like recordings of enemy ships, and by just comparing the sound and the frequencies of different props. So what you're basically hearing is a prop, yeah?
Break.
Maybe
We've just been intercepted. We've got a... There's a torpedo! Pause!
That's probably a helo that just dropped the torpedo on
What
top
just
of us.
happened? Okay, suddenly a Mark 46 American torpedo just came out of nowhere, and we are hidden. We're below the layer and we're at 10 knots. Right. Okay, we've got to do something now. We've got thinking time because I've paused it. Do we fire an MG44 out? Do we put noisemakers out? We've got... It's the third of a mile, so we've not got much time, guys. And then, once we've fired that, what do we do? Do we keep traveling? Do we... I don't know what to do.
Okay, let's maybe...
First thing you do is a snapshot torpedo shot, drop noisemakers, and then turn as hard as you can.
When you say a torpedo shot, do you mean an offensive torpedo?
It's more defensive to make them turn away, but you just throw something out there in the water.
Roger.
You're hoping that something is going to... or that their torpedo then chases your torpedo rather than you.
Okay,
I actually wouldn't do that. I would just fire away an MG44,
okay.
Make them hunt that MG44, let's say in a northeastern direction.
Northeastern direction, yeah.
And then we make a sharp turn to the right, towards south, and changing our depth.
All right, wish me luck. Tubes flooded. Okay, now which way do you want to go? Pause.
Let's go south.
All right, and at what speed?
Go above the layer.
You want to go above the layer, roger. And at what speed?
We stay on 10 knots.
Roll, pitch, plane. Now, what about noisemakers? I'm guessing, I don't know where they come out.
We only use them actually when we see that the torpedo is going active on us.
Oh no! Oh no!
More than one.
More! I'm pumping. Oh my god, we're dead. I don't ever want to be a submarine runner.
Okay, we need to assess damage.
I think I've duped them.
Damage control.
I wonder what we did wrong.
I wonder too, because we actually were pretty silent and gone pretty silent.
Yeah, that's it. We've had to surface. Oh, we're white flag. Put the white flag out. Wow. Yeah, look, white flag. Okay, white flag gone.
Don't think that's just a white flag.
We're sinking. We're sinking. That's funny.
Maybe because we still were on the surface.
We weren't on the surface fly. We weren't.
I mean,
we were below
because
the
we
layer.
were shallow. And when we dived, we made somehow noises. Because when you're changing depth, that also makes noises of your hull. Of your hull.
One thing I noticed is when it went down, it wanted to go at 5 knots, and I forced it up to 10 knots. Do you reckon I've upset it by forcing it up to 10 knots below the layer? Maybe.
Yeah. What we maybe do is, because they moving...
Yeah, typical tactics would be for us to go due east right now, and then you end up taking basically a 90-degree shot at their broadside as they come by.
Roger. Now the question is, I'm happy to do that, but what stops us getting hit by those helicopters again? What are we going to do differently? I'm putting us below the layer, obviously.
Staying at 5 knots is going to help you as well.
Let's go slower. Right. I mean, this is a good submarine, right? This is a nuclear-powered, relatively modern submarine, so it's not like I've chosen a Munter.
It's quiet for Russian submarines.
Roger, I think I should probably maybe not put my towed array out just in case it has some kind of detriment to me. Or, don't know, what do you think? I'm trying to think of things to change that will give us a fighting chance, basically.
Well, think of it this way. You have a expected position of the surface ships already, and you know that they're going on a certain course and speed, so you just use that as a dead reckoning trace and trust that your last known information is good until proven otherwise.
Alright guys, so we are as quiet as we can. We're at 5 knots, we're below the layer, I'm not doing anything weird, I've not got any sensors turned on. Are we happy to speed up and see what happens?
Only problem is, of course, we spawned them as hostile already. They probably just peeking out with their helo and probing the sea on different locations.
Yeah, but that's their job though,
just
isn't it?
Just listening. Yeah, so we need to just keep an head out if we somehow get noise of an helo.
Right. Okay, but
In that case, we need to react then quickly.
But I have to speed it up, obviously, because it would take 5 hours to get there. So
Right,
I have
of
to
course.
speed up, so it means, unfortunately, we're going to probably miss any hydrophone noise, but, you know, that's life. Alright, so we're below the layer. No one wants to go deeper, right? Right, viewers, we're as quiet as we can be as far as I'm aware.
Do we have like a display where it says what your station is saying?
What your station is saying?
Yeah, I remember there was a tool where you see like all station what they call out or what your sub is calling out. Like that document sign down there
Oh
on the screen?
yes, gotcha. Right, the log. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, to keep an eye
That
on that.
should give us, if they hear like a helo, it just
Great
we should
idea.
see that there.
All right, well done.
Like intelligence maybe.
I wonder if it's the way. Yeah. Pause. I heard a new noise. It's 5 decibels. That's a helicopter. No.
Now the thing is that different ships make different noises at different speeds, and as I said, like different props, like modern props on subs are very clever designed, so they make as less noise and basically maximizing speed at lowering noise at most as possible.
What I'm doing, guys, is I'm taking us to them, but away slightly as well, just to keep our distance a bit, because there's our firing range of our big torpedoes. And then
Basically
we'll pop
what
in from
we
the side.
want, that we get sort of like a 90-degree angle on them,
I think
and then firing.
might be worth a pop here, because they're probably searching ahead, you know. Scary thing is, we don't know we're being attacked until that torpedo goes active, and that was what, a third of a mile from us. It's absolutely terrifying.
Can you click on intelligence and see what intelligence does and
Nothing.
nothing.
I've never seen anything there, so I suspect it's just not populated yet, or I've not.
Maybe it's in the campaign. It just gives you a general intelligence situation or something.
Maybe. Right, now here's the thing. Maybe we should start thinking about firing at the max range of our torpedo, rather than... We were trying to sneak up close last time, and maybe that's a stupid idea. Maybe we should fire at a larger range. What do you guys think?
So normal tactics would be to, once they cross that circle, turn directly at them, go to flank, fire your torpedoes, and then run away bravely.
Roger.
Yeah, but that makes, of course, us a big target. Launching a torpedo, and that maybe make them to just flank around, run away, and if they are still at max range, that could possibly mean that
maybe we should try.
Let's say, let's get them on like 90% of our max range.
Yeah.
And then turn in, go flank speed for like 30 seconds, and then fire them as
we're doing better
torpedoes.
So far. We're doing better than we were last time, so that's good. We've outsmarted there. So
it's a bit like beyond visual range tactics in DCS. So you don't want to really max out your torpedoes.
Oh shit!
Depend on.
Pause.
Fire.
So there's another goddamn mark.
Yeah, now fire towards the convoy, and then we can handle that one.
Okay, so very quickly, flank speed we said. So speed.
Yeah, the 60, 65, 76. Once you want to fire now.
Okay. Full ahead flank. Turn towards the baddies. 76. Engage with that. Double shot.
Do a single salvo on the Aligo. And there was a second.
I can only see one. I can only see one fly.
Okay, then just do a 4-1 salvo, because that's our target anyway.
You just want one torpedo?
No, full one. Salvo.
All right. Moving to position. Here we go. Fire and run away bravely.
So it's uses the 2 big launch tubes. Now just try to reload as quickly, and we'll fire the second round.
God, I've got to get hit. We need to do something.
Okay, let's launch and...
Turn south.
Turn south.
Yeah.
Flank.
And launch...
These are so cheating, these torpedoes.
Launch and 44 in western direction.
Pause. Oh my god, it's right there. It's right there. Look,
okay,
it's in
noise
formation.
maker. We need a noise maker.
Fire the... it's too hard.
Yeah, it was already too close.
All right, well, you know what? At least we got fish in the water this time. There they go.
You need to go damage control and look what we maybe damage control teams to make sure we don't sinking.
I've been told to leave it on auto, so I've been told never to touch anything apart from just leave it.
Okay.
So if they can save it, they'll save it, but I can see obviously we're smashed.
Okay, we have slight we have moderate hull damage and slight flooding.
It's a broken submarine.
We may want to go to a more shallow depth, just to reduce the flooding. Because lower water pressure means less flooding.
Okay, good news is at least we've got our torpedoes. Wow, we're not very good. I still don't really get what it is we're doing wrong though. Like, we're going slow, we're going really low, we're staying 30 miles away. What else can we do? Other than literally sit still and wait, but it's a pretty shitty, boring thing to do, right?
You see why there was the reason the Russians made a guided missile subs that can keep distance and fire to surface groups.
Right, I guess I'm going to speed up now.
And they had subs with like OSAs and stuff on top of the fin. They just they just were surfacing and fired towards helos. Well, that was the plan.
Uh-oh, we've lost the track. Torpedoes are going to go dumb.
Oh no, they active themselves. We don't have wire guided on them, so we don't get the intel that torpedoes have basically.
They're basically just a Fox 3.
Yeah. It's a Pitbull AMRAAM basically.
We're the Kursk! We're the Kursk! Oh wow, look! What was that that fired at us? These AI are absolutely insatiable. Leave us alone, we're already dead. Jesus Christ. That is one
you see, we surfaced for a brief of a second, and the Americans thought, let's fire harpoons towards them.
That was horrible, yeah. Wow, AI better than us. Alright. Obviously, we're not going to do very well as submarine captains. Next, we'll go as anti-submarine, see if we do any better. Right, I don't think it's going to work because we've got no track, but we'll see what. I mean, they're fast, they're 50 knots. I've never seen a torpedo that fast before. Guys, how are these powered?
Battery.
They've got a battery. Okay.
Yeah, there are different types. Some are very old. World War II were pressure fed, so they had like a CO2 type of pressure vessel that then had a generator that turned the blades. Yeah. Then they turned to batteries. Later they used hydrogen and other chemicals that they then used to produce electric energy.
But the stupid flyer, they've just missed the target. They've gone within a mile and just like, yeah, I can't find it, mate. No, he's... Oh, I take it back. I take it back.
Yeah, I wanted to say they have more than one vessel.
Come on, guide! Guide! Guide!
It's still not close enough. They
Please guide. Yes, it's going to guide. It's going to guide. It's going to guide. We're going to kill something in a submarine. I set everything to max skill level as well, by the way, viewers, so we're fighting everything on the hardest value, which maybe we shouldn't have done, thinking about it. It was a bit of an idiotic thing, actually, to do.
Have you seen how the convoy is turning, and sadly the torpedo isn't turning?
Brilliant. Well, that was a waste of time. Okay, so that happened. So, the torpedoes are no good. Huh. Oh, yes!
Oh, there it's going active!
Oh, it's going for the props!
Yeah, of course, that's making the most noise.
It's looking for a wake.
Yeah.
How unfortunate of them, guys! How unfortunate. The other one didn't track, but it's searching. It's searching. It's going ping! Right. Where is those vessels gone? Where are the vessels gone? What have we done? What have we done? Yes, it's sinking!
Oh.
It's sinking! Oh, guys, torpedoes are so scary. In fact, everything in the water is scary. Look at that. It's blown a massive hole in its hull, and it's just going straight down.
There are probably many Abrams or something on there, yeah? But we just destroyed...
Well, there's Abrams weighing it down.
Yeah.
Bye. Viewers are not going to like that. Well, we did a thing. I mean, and we're not actually dead, you know. Our damage crew is somehow, like... Oh, flooding heavy. Oh, dear.
It's a floating risk.
Oh, dear. I take it back.
Okay.
We are possibly the world's best submarine crew.
Cap Radar will be not very happy about that. It's losing so many chemicals in the ocean.
Yeah, Greta will not be happy and fully demonetized. Look at that. Look at her sink. I am sinking. Look, it's hit the bottom. I'm sinking. I'm not sinking anymore. So I guess all the crew's like sitting on that bit there. No, I'm going down.
Probably the front is sinking too.
My pride. My absolute pride. Brilliant. That was great fun, guys. I just have interest. I wonder whether we can get healed. And I'm probably, I don't know, it'll probably take forever, so I'm not going to do it. Right.
We have heavy flooding. We have
here
sections flooded.
I reckon if I'm not going to do it again, but I reckon if we did it on an easier skill setting, I reckon we possibly would have got away with that. And they only launched one torpedo this time as well, guys.
Next time we just take an Oscar and pump him with missiles.
No, this time we are going to be the same situation. I'm going to scramble the position of the sub, and we're going to have to try and fight against it. Stand by. Welcome in, viewers. Same situation, except I scrambled the position of the submarine. It's 60 miles away, somewhere on that ring there. Could be south, could be north, could be west. If you remember, we've got a Kid, we've got a Tycho, we've got the vessel that we just sunk, woo, and we've got the Perry anti-submarine guys. We're all radar's warm. Obviously, that won't make any difference. We're all cruising at 2/3 speed, 13 knots. But otherwise, our sonars are off. What do you want to do with our sonars? Is I suppose the first
We leave
question.
that off, and first thing we do...
Launch every helo we have.
Yeah, we stay on MCOM and we launch every helo. We have to make some intel. We launch one helo, so you have 2 helos on the Tycho and 2 on the Perry. So we launch 2 helos northwest, 2 helos, and then we're probing the sea.
We've got more than that. We've got 6, by the way, because I gave it a Kid.
Does the sub have? All the helos have a dipping sonar?
Yes.
They're all SH2. Yeah. So should we split out on a fan? Should I just fan them out in you know, whatever?
Yeah.
Fan works.
Yeah, that's because it's obviously we don't know where they are, so we
Just letting them get airborne. Don't worry, there's loads of time. Okay, they're all airborne. All right, guys, let's start fanning the suckers out now. How far do you want me to fan them out?
Oh, how many they are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there are like 10.
Give them 5 miles in between.
Yeah, give them 5 to 10 miles in between, and do that 40 miles away of the group.
Yep. Right, well, this explains how they got us, I suppose. They had 6 helicopters, and they're probably fanning out right ahead of them. Maybe the only way to get them is go behind them.
Yeah, it's basically an underwater airbags what we now use.
Okay, so I've got the helicopters currently at 200 feet. I don't suppose there's any point of going high. Do you want me to do anything with their sensors at this point?
If they have radar, because if for some stupid reason the sub will have periscope.
No, don't use it yet. Don't when you're close to the group. Because when you use now a surface search radar, and for some fucking reason, that submarine has their ESM mast
out. All right, so let them get away.
It knows where we are.
So let them get away from the group, and then we can worry about it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna speed it up because there's nothing to do until they get ahead. In terms of our formation, is there anything you want to do? Anything you want to change? Because we've got time to change that. And I suppose it really matters. Once the fish is in the water, there's not a great deal we can do about it, is there?
Then we just
put your HVU at the rear of the formation.
Roger, duly noted.
I'm
gonna get that done.
Once fish in the water, we just maneuvering and try to get out of there, because we don't know when the torpedo goes active, you know.
Roger.
And when it's going active, you don't want to be close to it.
All right, I've changed it so our guys at the back, and I've spread them
that's some harsh maneuver.
That's a bad ship captain.
Yeah, because he's like full ahead, full flank, and makes as much noise as it can.
That's a handbrake turn.
So now the sub definitely knows where we are.
Oh, don't crash. Please don't crash. I've had this happen before.
Oh.
We're good, guys. Go, boys.
Why your captains always do that?
Super cap. Okay, we got
because
there.
we made so much noise, and the sub definitely knows where we are. We actually could deploy the towed sonar on the hazard Perry.
Yes.
And dip it below the layer.
Right. So sensors.
Put the radars on the choppers.
Okay, below layer. Deploying. Gotcha. Okay, go towed array and drip it below the layer. Okay, it's just another
So,
listening one, isn't it?
Cap, another thing I would do
Yeah,
with the Perry
I
is
think
send
it's
it about
nasty.
southwest. Based on where we think the sub is, we're in a really bad position for figuring out where the sub is with the towed array.
Roger, stand by. Formation orders. Lead formation, southwest, that's down and this way. Aye, aye.
224, hell mine.
Okay, let's start and put the helos and save probe.
Okay, so I haven't done this before, so sensors. I got surface search.
Surface search first.
It's maybe...
Surface radar first, because they
Yeah,
are
it's the
already-
AN... wait for a second. Say engage with the AN... What is it? Engage with?
Visual.
Yeah.
Right, so what's that going to do?
That should now... I think you need to put it on the map where it needs to...
Ah,
yeah.
right. Gotcha. Right, yep, first time, viewers. Right, getting the hang of it now. So I'm just dipping them where they are, right?
Yeah.
And you put also the surface radar, because I think it doesn't.
All right.
I doubt that the submarine will come for the surface, but it might.
It don't need to be on the surface. The surface search radar also is looking for stuff, even small stuff like periscopes and stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I know, but I think that it's not gonna come to the periscope depth. It's trying to hide. But if for some reason it comes, if we have multiple surface search radars, and that's also makes it. Oh, we have something.
It's good. It's our buoy. It's our buoy, look.
Our
Yeah.
buoy.
It just drops a thing down. Right, I've got 6 radars on, and I'm about to have 6 buoys. Now, what's the range of a buoy, do you think?
About a mile.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How did they find us, then? A 60
Yeah,
miles?
but that's active. Also, if it's for somehow does noise, we
Okay,
can
so
use it
once I've got
for
6,
more.
once I've got 6 buoys down, do you want me to make more buoys? And where do you want me to make the buoys?
We're just probing on different locations. So I would say like randomly put them on different locations and
Roger. Yeah.
search out for anything.
Right, I'm just going to start filling the gaps. All right, I think they're all up to set another buoy. Do the buoys just stay there forever?
Let's
Yeah, until they run out of
maybe
battery.
yeah, and let's try to use the dipping sonar, but I'm not sure yet how to
how?
use
How do
that one.
How do I do that?
We just need to look through.
There's nothing. There's sensors.
What is M?
I don't think the SH2s had a dipping sonar.
Oh, we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
that would make sense. That would make sense then.
What is the orange thingy on the right hand side?
I don't know what that big orange is.
That's a magnetic anomaly detector.
Huh.
So it'll detect the submarine magnetically. They drag it just above the water surface.
And then, so he's got to get through that ring. And that ring is currently, that's 50
I think
kilometers.
that's how-
The ring's 30 miles from the group, so he's got to get through them, basically.
That's basically, I think, how they got us, because they just probed the whole fucking North Sea with buoys and just listened for us.
Maybe spread them a little bit further apart, like so that you are deploying them like 1 kilometer away. Is the range a little bit bigger than 1 kilometer on a buoy?
Just over a kilometer.
Ah,
Well,
okay,
that's a nightmare then, guys, because it means we've got to put millions of the effing things down.
What
Not
we can
necessarily,
do is
if-
once the hazard Perry has moved away a bit of the formation,
What do you want me to
We-
do with it now?
go active with the sonar,
Yep.
and maybe we can steer up that submarine.
Roger, do you want me to speed it up? Because it's slow as nuts at the moment.
Yeah,
No,
that's good.
12 knots is good if you're trying to detect passively. You don't want to go
Oh,
much more
right,
than that.
because
Yeah,
you'll
that's-
ruin your own
that's true.
sensors. Right.
But you know what? The transport vessel is loud anyway. We may just do like
It
2
really
or
is.
3 sonar pings, and maybe we already can hear something
Roger.
coming back.
Right, well, I'm putting a lovely ring of buoys in.
If the buoy range is 1 kilometer, it's not. You do not necessarily need. If you have 50 kilometer like stretch, you only need 25 buoys. So, is that bad or not?
I mean, it's
More or
passive.
less.
I mean, it's passive sensor, right? So basically, the enemy submarine don't know where it is. If you have like every 2 kilometer or every 3 kilometer buoy, like a fishing net out, it's probably you get that submarine anyway somehow.
Yeah, how you fight it with the submarine? You're gonna accidentally bump into one.
Yeah, most certainly.
You find it when it's wrapped around your propeller shaft.
Maybe let's not only focusing on that. Maybe let's try to get an active sensor.
All right, give me just 2 seconds to plug a couple of gaps in them.
Oh, the one thing, Cap. Yeah, we have 6 helos out there, each with 2 torpedoes Mark 46. Yeah, that submarine already is in danger. Just don't know yet.
Okay, do you want me to put a ping out for CD?
Yeah.
From Antrim?
From the yeah.
What can we expect? I've never put a ping out before. What does it do? How far does it go?
So you can say it ping one time. You just say go active sonar, and then shortly we will say, okay, let's stop sonar.
All right, guys. Sensors, active sonar. Here we go.
Transmit active sonar. Sonar eye.
We still have the active search on.
Right. Well, we've not seen anything. Do you want me to turn the active search off?
Turn it off because it's only giving away your position.
Right. So far we've achieved absolutely nothing. God, I hope I forgot to remember to put a submarine in there.
Secure active sonar.
If you wanna use a real life tactic after you have pinged with active sonar, I suggest you turn maybe away from your group and speed it up because
that's what we already we did. The Perry class is already going more south than the main group.
Yeah, but now when the sonar is off, turn even more and put like hammer down because the energy sub have definitely heard.
We don't hammer down because that's loud, and the most bad thing you can do is getting loud because that gives away your position.
Yeah, but
most.
we have already given away.
The thing is that the tanker most certainly, just because of speed and everything, is giving away its position anyway. I mean, when we were the sub...
Perry is going to be your sacrificial lamb here, though, in this case. And so you go as fast as you can to draw the submarine away from it.
Yeah, that was my idea. Just get it now when we have done the active pins. The enemy definitely know that we are on that direction, so you can just floor the Perry because even if the enemy will hear it, they will go after it and not the main group.
Cap just has fun right now dropping buoys, I see that.
Well, I'm getting very good at dropping buoys if that helps, guys, but I'm not sure.
You're getting mental with it, huh?
Speed up. Oh, what's that? We've got him! No, we haven't.
No, that's the target for buoy drop.
Should we slow down the group because you don't want to drive through your own buoys, do you?
Nah, so we need to...
Because we've got a mission to do, which is to get the other side, though. You know.
Cap, let's make the Alogri slower and make it like 10 knots. Because just get it more silent. And then we go and save a Perry to go, let's say, 15 knots or 20 knots just to make a false target. Make them hunt for Perry.
Guys, I'm ready to start speeding things up. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, because I don't know what else I can do at this point. So, let's go. Watch one of our ships blow up.
This is where you appreciate that ASW means awfully slow warfare.
Awfully slow warfare.
Aren't you happy? I mean, the last couple of videos we now made, yeah? We had like awfully stressful videos the first 30 minutes.
Very stressful.
And it got mental, and this time we have something more,
But it's also worrying, because I don't know where that submarine is, and I want to know where that submarine is. Why isn't it telling me where it is? Why isn't it broadcasting its position? A little bit.
Anyways,
it doesn't know where our mics are, does it? It can't go around them.
Even if it tries where it want to go.
How do you feel like do you want an active ping, guys?
Let's go active. Once we have any signal of a sub, what we can do is put out the tow decoy, and that makes noise that distracts the torpedoes also. Just plays around with its seeker. I know some of the buoys are out of energy.
Oh, come on. Don't give me that. Do you want to start... Where do you want to send FFG now? Because he's reached the end of his travel. I got
do west, that's fine.
Yeah, do west, just west.
Turn to
Alright, do you want me to, I'm going to start laying down some more buoys. I wish I could lay down a trail of them so I don't have to keep doing this every time. Oh yeah, I can. Let's have a look. No, I can't.
That would be wonderful. That's something for the
Developers.
I think I saw it somewhere actually. When you press shift or something, you can queue them.
Pay money. Yes, maybe. Yes, wait. Oh, my life! My life!
Holy
I've
shit,
just wasted
it's
all that
doing it.
time!
Wow.
Kept you happy?
Yes, I'm very happy. But, how many have they got now? I've got to worry about wasting them.
9. This helo has 9.
Oh god, I don't want to waste them.
Let's put like 4 in a row, and then the next helo do 4 in a row, and
Alright.
Plus the whole formation is moving west. I would suggest to start a second picket line of sonar buoys, like 5 knots to the west.
Yeah, good idea. Ahead of these ones, do you reckon?
yeah, add
just
more.
to the
more.
west.
When they've run out of buoys, do you reckon they'll tell me? Because I don't know when they've run out.
And you tell them to go back to the
Just-
ship and get more buoys?
Just down where the torpedoes are, you see how many buoys they have. This one has 10 still left.
A thing happened.
Oh!
A thing happened. I don't know what I've just done.
Don't mess it up.
I don't know what I've just done.
You just made a like a trap.
Yeah, it actually.
So what it does is it comes preloaded with tactical patterns that are more effective at using the buoy.
I didn't know any of this.
Basically, it's laying out a fish net of like 9 buoys.
Well, we got what we wanted, guys, right?
It's the first time we're doing anti-sub here, yeah? In
Yes.
sea power, yeah? We try a bit to use our knowledge from stuff like cold waters and pony some real life knowledge here, but we need to find out how game really mechanic wise works and stuff. So
I'm just going to keep putting buoys until they tell me they've run out, basically. I can't obviously see. Where are they kept? Are they inside?
just look down there.
If you zoom out, there you go.
Yeah.
Alright, loads of buoys then, guys.
Also, you've seen down there on your screen cap 10 buoys, that weren't 7.
Oh, so stupid, yeah. It's late. It's late, guys, it's late. We've all had a long day.
Caps, that's the reason why we stick all our heads together, you know? More heads mean a bit more intelligence, and maybe with enough GRs, yeah, we make one actual
Human.
working person.
Functioning ASW human. Alright, we're getting there, guys. Look at me, I'm making a giant picket line of big, fat penises.
With all that buoys, what Cap's now doing is basically probing the whole fucking North Sea.
Yeah. Why not?
You know, you're gonna have very angry fishermen because they don't get any fish there. Oh,
No,
nice,
oh,
nice. Yes,
it's here! Pause! I'm just
Drop a
doing
torpedo,
Okay,
zoom
Cap,
in! Zoom out! Yes,
Cap.
I found him!
use the lower and the upper helo, most close,
Yeah, pincer.
and each dropping one torpedo into that direction.
Right.
Ooh, he's gonna be so dead.
And
Right.
put one, I don't know if you can already put a depth into that torpedo. So in real life I can do that. But
How do I
what?
cancel what is a ceasefire? I've got ceasefire.
Yeah, just say him attack, and it probably already does the depth.
Twin?
what it's on.
Twin or
single
single?
shot. Single shot.
Salvo's two's fine.
Okay, I'll do
You're not
two from this
gonna-
guy.
Yeah, I would do single shot on both helos.
Okay,
and
fine. Engage with. Right, now. I'm not taking any chances. I know where he's going. I'm putting more buoys out in front of him. With this guy. Oh, the
Do a
beauty.
circle. Do a circle around it, Cap.
He ain't going anywhere, boys. Trust me. Right, he's moving there just a few knots, so I'm going to go like this. Pang, pang, pang. All right. Watch the magic happen. Go on, boys. Get.
With a little parachute.
Well, at least we know why we died so much now. It's well easy to find, right?
And there is no way he can get away. Like, how you gonna defeat like 6 helicopters?
Right, what are you gonna do?
You cannot.
You basically now go full stop, lay down on the surface, and pretend you're that submarine for the next 3 days.
Yeah, but you can't detect the helicopter.
It's actually an Iranian tactic flight.
They can.
Wait, what?
They can hear the.
That is
the road.
that's a real Iranian tactic.
Friggin' noob tactic. Full ahead, flank speed, right into the
But
baddies.
you know what, Connie? That's also the tactic of Moskova at one point.
Is that too soon?
Too soon.
Maybe. But I still do it.
Right, how do I get him to fire? He's not actually firing.
It's getting into range and it will basically drop the torpedo.
Yeah, they're going to drop it basically right on his face.
That would explain why we didn't know until it was like quarter of a mile away.
Yeah, what it does is it's dropping the torpedo down, and what the torpedo is then doing, it's circling, going deeper and deeper, circling until it finds that submarine with its seeker and then goes straight ahead.
You know what? I thought submarines were a great place to be, but it turns out I was wrong. Completely wrong.
No, the most awful place in warfare to be is probably in a submarine.
Can't get the missile. Let me have the missile.
You're always saying missile. I always see the comments all saying, Cap, it's a torpedo, not...
Oh, this is jolly exciting. This is jolly exciting.
Very, very deep water.
I see him. He's cavitating. He's cavitating. He's running.
He wants to run away. Oh, I see noise. It's fired something.
Yeah, he fired a torpedo.
Noise makers. Oh, there's a torpedo on the
Okay,
right.
Cap, what we want to do after we crash that sub is changing course heading.
Yeah, where do you want to go? North? Where do you want to go?
Just
North.
go
Head north.
And go with the Perry, go straight south.
Turn to course 177.
Yeah, you know what that was? That was the last act of a desperate man, boys. There it is, I see it. It's there, it's right. Turn right! Turn right! It's right there, I can see it. It's cavitating.
That's the noisemaker.
Yeah, we're following the noisemaker.
Oh, no, that's the submarine.
We
There
are
it is.
following the noisemaker. It's going after the noisemaker.
So, Cap, that's the reason why we fired single shot here. Let's fire the next round on the submarine. Hey, Cap, we're giving out torpedoes today for free.
Fish, komm mal für dich.
You get a torpedo, and you get a torpedo, and you get a torpedo.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I really thought we were doing something wrong with that when we were the sub, but there is no way through the net. The net is
So the other
impenetrable.
thing I hear, Cap, is once you hear an explosion, so you drop normally a
It's
torpedo.
turned around.
Yeah?
It's going after the sub again.
Cap, then what you do is drop your mic again down and listen if you hear a boom or and
I
a
reckon
crushing
you might.
after it, or you only hear a boom and you hit something like the ground, or you know.
Here we go. Oh shit!
That's gonna hurt.
Oh, 999.
Yeah, you know that's the bad version of Das Boat, yeah,
It's hitting midships.
where the boat dies.
Hey! The reactor went up. The
Two
reactor went up.
hits.
Zwei schießen. The prop
An
stop.
emergency blow and it's
It doesn't even go surface because it's so destroyed.
that's rude.
Oh, that poor sailors.
It's so dead they can't. Oh no, you didn't! No, you didn't! He's already dead. It's gonna friggin' implode like a can.
Incorrect. 7001.
Your commander has been summoned to Geneva.
Oh, there you go, guys. So we tried it twice with a sub. The second time we did complete our mission thanks to the guys and their excellent brains, but we didn't survive and we couldn't work out what we were doing wrong. It turns out we weren't really doing anything wrong. It's impossible to get through a massively proactive SAMnet. God. Massively
Beaker,
proactive
sonar net,
ASW. Not so. Yeah, sonar. Yes, I guess they are.
Bowie net. Let's call it Bowie net.
Yeah, hydrophone net, whatever. You know, it's just you can't do it. And I guess this favoured the surface fleet because we were in, you know, a small channel and we knew, you know, the rough, well, sort of the rough vector, couldn't kind of circle around and get behind us. But man, that is ASW is potent if you're on it. And once we knew how to lay those chains, then, woo, it ain't getting
Also
past.
think about, Cap, if you have a guided submarine, guided missile submarine, what it does is launch you all that missiles, yeah? Probably from far away. But that also leaves all the smoke trails on the surface, yeah? So you send a helo there or
find
an ASW plane that drops a torpedo right there. Yeah, Submarine is again in trouble.
Wow, yeah, what interesting warfare. What a cool game this is. We're going to play lots of this game, guys. Lots and lots of this game. Really enjoyable, and we've learned an awful lot about submarine and anti-submarine warfare. We're not experts, but, you know, we can go and do it now, which is great. Any closing comments before we sign off?
All that little air
Lots of
bubbles.
fun.
All that little air bubbles is soul leaving that sub.
That's its problem. All right, viewers, I hope you enjoyed that. We've got lots more on the horizon, and bye-bye.